Hey everybody, welcome back to Kavanaugh's Corner. As always, I'm Andrew Kavanaugh, and on the channel here, I review 4K Ultra HD Blu-rays. As you can tell behind me, I have quite a lot of them, and I've watched a lot of them over the years, but today we have a brand new release. This just came out earlier this week of me posting this video, and this is a film that I actually got to see in theaters with a buddy of mine. And we were blown away by this movie. I really enjoyed this. Honestly, it's one of my favorite films of the year. It scared the crap out of me. It made me chuckle a few times. And that movie is, of course, Weapons. And this is a new film from the gentleman who wrote and directed, I should say, Barbarian. And his name is Zach Cregger. And I have a feeling that this guy is going to be with us for quite some time. Making some memorable movies, because this was a very, very impressive film. I really, really enjoyed it. And if you're a fan of mystery, horror, maybe even folk tales, I don't want to give away too much here, but if you're a fan of that kind of thing, I think you're really going to enjoy this movie. It kept me guessing through most of it, and there were, like I said, a few moments that made me jump out of my skin. It's really, really a great original piece of filmmaking here, and now it is available on 4K here from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. Talking about Warner Brothers, they were nice enough to send this out to me for the review here today. So big thank you to Warner Brothers. Today on the channel, we're going to be reviewing the picture quality, the audio quality, and the special features, because there actually are a few featurettes that are included on here. Now, as always, what I like to say before I jump into the review here is that even though this was sent to me by Warner Brothers, I'm not being compensated in any other way. This is my opinion, and it's a very subjective opinion. Home theater reviews are kind of weird in a way where I can talk about this movie in one way and you may have a wildly different experience depending on your home theater setup. I watched this on a 77-inch 4K OLED from LG and with a surround sound system, a 5.1.2 surround sound system with tower speakers and things like that. So again, I'm going to be talking about my experience. I can't guarantee that you'll have the exact same experience, but at least you'll be informed at the end of this review. Now, to jump right into the picture quality here, Weapons here is a 4K digital intermediate. So again, it's not an upscale or anything. It is a native 4K DI. And it does have Dolby Vision, HDR. I've got to say, I did get to see this in an IMAX theater when I saw it. Seeing it at home actually provided a slightly different experience. Now, what do I mean by that? The 4K disc here is, well, I should say the movie as a whole really, is a very, very dark film. There's a lot of nighttime scenes. There's a lot of scenes that are set in dimly lit interiors, things like that. And I will say that this is a disc with some pretty wild black levels in a good way. Thankfully, the black levels on this disc are very, very good. It's, as I mentioned, a very dark film in tone and in its look, but the cinematography is replicated really, really well on this disc. To be honest, it actually looked darker at home than it did in the movie theater. Of course, there's a lot of things that can change that. You know, when you're in a movie theater, you're in pitch black, you're in darkness, and of course, you're watching it projected where this is on a television set. So there's going to be some nuances there, and there's going to be some differentials. But I will say, if you do have a home theater system or a television or something like that, that can handle these black levels, you're going to have a hell of a spooky time. And I will admit, there were some moments in this that, even though I had already seen the film, I got creeped out all over again. There are some really inventive dream sequences in this movie. I won't spoil them for you. One of them incorporates trying to see things in the dark. And boy, did it make me jump out of my skin for a second time. Awesome black levels on this disc, and that Dolby Vision really, really helps that out. The Dolby Vision on this disc also helps out with a very, very natural color palette all throughout the film. Everything in the film just looks very lifelike and accurate. There are many, many shots of just close-ups of actors, clothing, things like that. And makeup in this movie plays a large part. And I will say, the makeup jobs they did on some of these actors and actresses in this film, they are incredible looking. And the 4K, again, reveals everything when you watch it, but it looks great. Even some of the little minor special effects that were done looked really, really impressive on this disc. And that Dolby Vision just really helps out with those nighttime scenes, as I mentioned earlier, but also the daytime sequences. Now, even though this disc doesn't get extremely bright, there are a few moments where flashlights are used in the darkness, and those moments there really make that Dolby Vision work. You can really see the jump in brightness from, maybe a phone's flashlight in the dark, or a flashlight shining on a spooky face, things like that. They are very, very noticeable, and it was a really good use of Dolby Vision on this disc. Besides that, again, it really does have a very natural filmic look all throughout, and I was very, very impressed with the picture quality on this disc. Now, would I call it a reference quality disc? Maybe. Maybe. It all depends on what you're looking for out of a 4K disc. A lot of people watch action movies like Top Gun Maverick and things like that to get like that reference quality sample. In my opinion, if you're looking for a really natural color palette, the spooky movie to watch around this time of year, Halloween and things like that, if you're really looking for something like that, this is quite the looker of a 4K disc. I was very, very impressed with the picture quality on Weapons here. Now, in terms of audio quality here on Weapons, this also comes with a Dolby Atmos audio track. And I will say the Dolby Atmos on this was very impressive as well. I will say I did have to raise the volume a little bit, not too high from where I usually have it to get it to a kind of comfortable point. But all throughout the movie, the dialogue is crystal clear. The music sounded fantastic. The percussion-type rhythm that's used for the score through most of this movie is also really impactful, and it surrounds you. The sound effects are also really well placed in this. There's not a whole heck of a lot of overhead usage in this. There's maybe only one instance of usage of the overhead speakers in this, but it's a good one, and it's used to pretty good effect. But other than that, it's mainly just surrounds, but there are some really creepy sound effects that take place in this, and as I mentioned, the music and dialogue sounded fantastic. So I'd give this probably like a 4 out of 5 for sound. Again, not the most enveloping type sound, but there were a few moments in this that used some ambient noise and things like that that really, really impressed me with this. So it was a very, very good Dolby Atmos track on this. Now, in terms of special features, this does come with 3 new featurettes, one of which is kind of an interview with director Zach Kreger that's called Making Horror Personal. That interview with the director is a really great kind of little inside look at what was going on in his mind when he was creating this film. It's a nice little look behind the scenes, and if you're a fan of this movie, you'll kind of like some of the little touches that he talks of in that section there, in that little featurette. There's also another little featurette that's about 7-8 minutes long that's called Weaponized, the cast of Weapons. It's a little series of interviews including Josh Brolin, there's Alden Ehrenreich, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, Julia Garner, Benedict Wong, Amy Madigan, who all deliver really phenomenal performances in this movie. So that's a nice little featurette they've included there. And then there's another one that's called Weapons, the Texture of Terror. 3 nice little short featurettes there that give you a little behind-the-scenes look. I would have liked kind of a longer form documentary making of this, but you very rarely see them on new releases today. It's kind of a lost art. but at least you did get 3 little behind-the-scenes featurettes on this one. So what are my thoughts on this new 4K release here of Weapons? I would say that if you're curious about this movie and you're a fan of Barbarian, you're probably really going to love this movie. I've got a couple friends that really love this movie, and I know a couple people that didn't enjoy this film. And really, their main complaint was where the plot went. Of course, it's subjective. Your opinion may vary. I really enjoyed this movie. I really liked it. The disc here, the 4K transfer of it was phenomenal. Picture quality was great. The audio quality was great. It was a very, very good 4K disc, in my opinion, and it also includes a digital code that redeems on Movies Anywhere, so you have that with it as well. I say it's worth a pickup, but again, you may want to rent this one before you go ahead and buy it, just depending on your tastes. So if you do want to pick up Weapons, I'll leave a link in the description below that goes to Amazon. If you use that link, I do get a little kickback here on the channel. If you really want to help me out here, though, the best thing you can do is hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button as well, and the bell icon. Now, that's a free thing, and that is the biggest help to me, because that helps me kind of get out there in the algorithm a little more. Thank you so very much for coming back to Kavanaugh's Corner. I hope you enjoyed this review of Weapons here just in time for Halloween. Until next time, I wish you guys all the very best. Please stay safe, keep collecting, and take it easy.